Yeah. Breaking news. Ghislaine Maxwell. Busted. Breaking news. You probably heard it already today, but earlier this morning. Ghislaine Maxwell, you remember who she is, right? She is the gal pal of the infamous Jeffrey Epstein. Jerry Epstein. Good morning, everybody. What's up, everybody? Just do a quick video today. Just do a little quickie on Ghislaine Maxwell. Actually, it might be a little lengthy. I'm going to. I have the PDF. I have the full indictment. So we'll take a look at that full indictment right there. So there's the headline. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Well, good afternoon to you there. So here we go. Ghislaine Maxwell, associate of Jeffrey Epstein, is arrested. Wow, shit. Look at that. I just went over to the website to see where she is exactly at the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And usually this is MCC. This is where, this is here in New York City. So it all comes back. Epstein and his gal pal, it's like the gift that keeps giving. So we get to go down there. Get to go down to the SDNY, Southern District of New York. And we're going to see this whole trial, right? It's coming here, right? So federal indictments handed out. What's up, everybody? And so there it is. Ghislaine Maxwell, associate of Jeffrey Epstein, is arrested. Miss Maxwell... Hold on a second. Miss Maxwell was accused of helping Mr. Epstein to recruit, groom, then sexually abuse girls. One as early as age 14. So there they are. You know who she is. She's the infamous gal pal. She's British. She is involved in, or alleged, she's accused of being the groomer. The groomer, the one who brings the girls into Epstein so he can exploit them himself and also share the young tots with, the young chicks with kids with his disgusting billionaire friends. And that's essentially what she was doing. No one works, criminals tend to not work in a vacuum. So we knew this was going to happen. It's almost a year ago today. This time of year that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly killed himself in the MCC Metropolitan Correctional Facility over here in Manhattan. Do we really believe he choked himself out? He choked himself? I don't know, but it doesn't seem so. So here we go. We'll look at that. She's definitely not in here. I just did the search. I'll do it again so everybody sees it. And this is how you find out if she's there. You put in the name Ghislaine, all right? And let's make sure we spell it right. Make sure we got it all the capitals and Maxwell. So if she's in the system, boom, she would pop up here, right? And she's not. So we'll keep watching, right? So this is the inmate lookup at MCC. Metropolitan, what does it stand for again? Metropolitan Correctional something with a C. Correctional Center, there we go. Metropolitan Correctional Center. So let's watch the fake news report, and then we'll jump into the actual indictment.
And he says she was the missing link in the Jeffrey Epstein saga. The FBI says they have her. Ghislaine Maxwell, accused of recruiting girls as young as 14. She's described as Epstein's one-time girlfriend and business partner. She's now going to face child sex trafficking-related charges. Our chief investigative reporter, Jonathan Zeese, broke the news of this arrest this morning. He's with us now. Jonathan.
Yeah, the FBI arrested Ghislaine Maxwell around 8:30 this morning in Bedford, New Hampshire. They say she helped the now-dead millionaire sex traffic young girls, abuse them, some as young as 14 years old, at his Upper East Side townhouse and other vacation homes. Maxwell will appear in federal court in New England later today. The indictment today by the Manhattan U.S. Attorney accuses her of helping to recruit and abuse 3 victims. They say she befriended them, offered them money, even was in the room helping Epstein abuse them during their visits. You'll recall Epstein is the millionaire pedophile who killed himself in the MCC after he was arrested. For years, women had been calling for him and those who helped him to face justice. Maxwell's arrest, long sought by some of his alleged victims who say they were abused not only in that East Side townhouse, but also at Epstein's estates in Florida, New Mexico, the Virgin Islands. Maxwell faces 6 counts, including conspiracy to engage in sex acts with minors, sexual exploitation, and perjury. The FBI says the abuse took place from at least 1994 through 1997, and they say she was very much involved in not only recruiting these girls, but in helping to abuse them. During a past civil case, she vehemently denied the charges. Again, Maxwell arrested in New Hampshire around 8:30 this morning. She's expected to appear in federal court later today in New England, and the FBI and the Manhattan U.S. Attorney expected to hold a news briefing in about an hour. Jonathan Deans, News.
All right, so that answers the question. I'm looking for her here in New York. She's not here yet. It is the indictment was dished out in the Southern District of New York. Here's the indictment. United States District Court, Southern District of New York. So she'll be arraigned, I guess, and later today. Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday. And maybe in a few days she'll come down here. They'll set a court date for her here in New York City. She'll sit on ice for a while. They'll have I guess the first one is the bail hearing. Will she make bail? I don't think so. She's heavy flight risk, just like the other one. So let's read the indictment. So here we go. So this is United States. This is signed and sealed, 18 pages. I'm not going to read all 18 pages, but let's just get a gist of what's going on here. United States District Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America versus Ghislaine Maxwell, defendant. Count 1, conspiracy to entice minors to travel to engage in illegal sex acts. Ooh. The charges set forth hereon stem from the role of Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, in the sexual exploitation and abuse of multiple minor girls by Jeffrey Epstein. In particular, from at least in or about 1994 up to including at least in or about 1997, Maxwell assisted, facilitated, and contributed to Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of minor girls by, among other things, helping Epstein to recruit, groom, and ultimately abuse victims known to Maxwell and Epstein to be under age 18. The victims were as young as 14 years old when they were groomed and abused by Maxwell and Epstein, both of whom knew that certain victims were in fact under the age of 18. So this is what we've always known, but this is signed and sealed now, signed by a judge, sealed indictment, whatever. It's out in the open now, and it's game on. Is she going to kill herself? Is she going to kill herself? Are they going to find her hanging in her female cell? We shall see. As part and in furtherance of their scheme to abuse minor victims, Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, and Jeffrey Epstein enticed and caused minor victims to travel to Epstein's residence in different states, which Maxwell knew and intended would result in their grooming for the subjection to sexual abuse. She's the groomer. The groomer. Oh, you guys love that word, the groomer. Moreover, not you guys, but the Ped0Gate chasers, they love that fucking shit, groomer. Hey, you're a groomer. Oh, everybody's a groomer. But she's the real shit, man. She definitely, right? She's in every photo. Every one of the victims mentions her. Excuse me. Moreover, in an effort to conceal her crimes, Maxwell repeatedly lied when questioned about her conduct, including in relation to some of the minor victims described hereon, when provided testimony in 2018. So it's a bunch of indictments for grooming, but there's also that perjury one. Right? She lied. She lied in federal court. During the time periods charged in this indictment, Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, had a personal and professional relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and was among his closest associates. In particular, hereon in or about 1994 and hereon in or about 1997, Maxwell was in an intimate relationship with Epstein, and also was paid by Epstein to manage his various properties. Over the course of their relationship, Maxwell and Epstein were photographed together on multiple occasions. Number 4. Beginning in or around 1994, Maxwell, the defendant, enticed and groomed multiple minor girls to engage in sex acts with Jeffrey Epstein through a variety of means and methods, including but not limited to the following. So, again, there's a lot of wind here. I don't have the fucking breath to read 18 pages, but I'm going to try. Maxwell first attempted to befriend some of Epstein's minor victims prior to their abuse, including by asking the victims about their lives, their schools, and their families. She's poking around. Hey, what do? Who are you? You have any friends? You have any cute friends just like you? Maxwell and Epstein would spend time building friendships with minor victims by, for example, taking minor victims to movies or shopping. Some of these outings would involve Maxwell and Epstein spending time together with a minor victim, while some would involve Maxwell or Epstein spending time alone with a minor victim. Whoo-wee. So, you can't dispute it, right? Is it disputable at this point? There is a complication here. And, of course, I think the obvious complication is that Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Right? He's dead. So, you can't question a dead guy. Or is he dead? Imagine if he pops out of nowhere and he's like their key witness. Just imagine. Having developed a rapport with a victim, Maxwell would try to normalize sexual abuse for a minor victim by, among other things, discussing sexual topics, undressing in front of the victim, being present when a minor victim was undressing, and or present for sex acts involving the minor victim and Epstein. They're like perverts. They're just like, pulling their dick out, pulling their tits out, right? Say in front of the kids. Right? Softening them up for the blow. Right? Letter C. Maxwell's presence during minor victims' interaction with Epstein, including interactions where the minor victim was undressed or that involved sex acts with Epstein, helped put the victims at ease because an adult woman was present. Holy shit. For example, in some instances, Maxwell would massage Epstein in front of a minor victim. In other instances, Maxwell encouraged minor victims to provide massages to Epstein, right? Including sexualized massages during which a minor victim would be fully or partially nude. Many of those massages resulted in Epstein sexually abusing the minor victim. D. In addition, Epstein offered to help some minor victims by paying for travel and for educational opportunities. And Maxwell encouraged certain victims to accept Epstein's assistance. As a result, victims were made to feel indebted and believed that Maxwell and Epstein were trying to help them. Oh man, it's just heavy. It's just heavy. You feel dirty reading this shit. Through this process, Maxwell and Epstein enticed victims to engage in sexual activity with Epstein. In some instances, Maxwell was present for and participated in sexual abuse of minor victims. So she's not just an accomplice. She's not just a groomer. She's also a pedophile. She's also in there, licking a stamp of these young teenage girls, right? That's crude. I shouldn't be goofing on that shit, but I did anyway. Some such incidences occurred in the context of massages, which developed into sexual encounters. Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, facilitated Jeffrey Epstein's access to minor victims, knowing that he had sexual preference to underage girls, touching their genitals, playing with sex toys, vibrators, right? What it doesn't really say is about others. It just says Maxwell and Epstein. It doesn't really, unless I didn't read all the way through, it doesn't mention anything about presenting those young girls to other billionaires like the rich prince from England or Bill Clinton or any of those people. Right? It doesn't really talk about that. Between approximately 1994 and 1997, Ghislaine, the defendant, facilitated Jeffrey Epstein's access to minor victims by, among other things, inducing and enticing in aiding and abetting and in inducement and enticement of multiple minor victims. It's very repetitive at this point. There's Epstein's house. We've been there. I might be going back there. Check it out. An estate is so where did it happen? They're pointing to the residence in Upper East Side Manhattan, up on 70th Street it is. I'll go back there. It's 9 East 70th. An estate in Palm Beach, Florida, owned by Epstein. His ranch in New Mexico. Maxwell's personal residence in London. They don't mention Pedo Island at all. They don't mention the island at all. They mention Manhattan, New Mexico, Florida, and London. No mention of Pedo Island in this indictment. Among the victims induced or enticed by Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, were minor victims. This is so repetitive. It's just, what else can we learn here? I'm just going to skim this. La 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 la. In particular, Maxwell involved minor one. So they go through each one of the minors. Minor victim 1, minor victim 2, no names. While in New Mexico, while in New York, while in blah blah. All over the place. Where were they? Maxwell's efforts to conceal her conduct. Number 8 is, I believe, the perjury. In or around 2016, in the context of a deposition as part of a civil litigation. Wow, part of a civil litigation. Look out, LARPers, man. You guys fucking lie through your teeth, right? See that shit? That's perjury, man. You guys lie. In all your fake lawsuits, you fucking liars, right? All the bullshit that you guys put out in those fake fucking lawsuits, right? Criminals. You're criminals, man. Criminals. Just like Ghislaine. The defendant repeatedly provided false and perjurious statements under oath regarding, among other subjects, her role in facilitating the abuse of minors. Statutory allegations. Number 9. What page are we on? God damn, so another 10 pages. Statutory allegations from at least in or about 1994 up to including in or about 1997 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, Jeffrey Epstein, and others known and unknown willfully and knowingly did combine, conspire, confederate, and agree together and with each other to commit an offense against the United States, to wit, entice in violation of Title 18. So they lied. I just want to skim this so we get the gist of it. We know that she aided and abetted him, but it doesn't really talk about how they presented those children to other major perverts. I should have read this before I started this, but I didn't. So here we are. Now we got to find out. So I don't see any other names mentioned. The allegation contained in paragraph 1 through 8 and this indictment are repeated and aligned. It's all legal bullshit talk. But let's just find out. So it was a part and object of the conspiracy that Ghislaine Maxwell and defendant Jeffrey Epstein and others, known and unknown, would and did knowingly transport. All right, so there it is, number 16. Number 16. It was a part and object of the conspiracy that Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, Jeffrey Epstein, and others. What others? Others. It's the key word. Known and unknown would and did knowingly transport an individual who had not attained the age of 18 in interstate and foreign commerce, with intent that the individual engaged in sexual activity for which a person can be charged with a criminal offense in violation of Title 18. So there's a slight mention there of others in furtherance of the conspiracy and to affect because that's really what we're interested in, right? We want to see her head roll, but we'd love to see Bill Clinton's head roll right next to her, right next to Ghislaine, right? That's the object here, right? To catch as many crooks as you can, right? Is she going to sing like a bird? Is she going to be a jailbird singing? Of course she will. That's why she might kill herself. In furtherance of the conspiracy, right? In furtherance of the conspiracy to effect a legal object thereof, the following overt acts, among others, were committed in the Southern District of New York. So that's why they're dragging her here, dragging her down to the kangaroo court where nobody wins. 90% of the cases tried in the Southern District of New York go in favor of the House. You don't win. That's what it's for. Yeah, and Trump. I know everybody's saying Trump. How much Trump involvement? Look, I don't believe it. Right? Here's my take on Trump. Right? You guys are going to say it. Here's what I think about Trump. Right? Now, I speak from experience with this, not as the jerky guy on YouTube, but I used to be a catering guy. I used to work in catering. I was a catering captain. And this is my eyewitness observation after many parties. I've been in Bloomberg's house. I've been at dinners where Trump was there and Bill Clinton is there, and they're all there. And I could tell you that guilt by association, when a photograph is taken, a photograph is not evidence at a social gathering like a foundation, like the Robin Hood Foundation, for example. Robin Hood Foundation puts 3,000 seats at the Javits Center, and bands like the Who and Stevie Wonder and fucking Bon Jovi play, or the Entertainment, or the Eagles. I saw the Eagles play. And that's how rich people live. And at those parties, they all meet each other. So to say directly that just because there's a photograph of Trump and Melania and Epstein and the other one, it doesn't necessarily mean that Trump had anything to do with any of that. Right? You got to get the actual evidence. Evidence, not by circumstance, by, he happened to be in the same building when some shit was going down, or he was invited to a party that had nothing to do with any of that. Right? So not guilt by association. So let's stick with the facts, right? Is there one fucking witness that can come forward and say that Bill Clinton tried to put his dick in my ass, right? Just one. That's all. That's all we need. We need one credible fucking witness, right? That's all. Victim, right? Not this bullshit about pictures. So that's what I think about Trump. I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm just saying that the evidence does not support that Trump had anything to do with this. Right? It's guilt by association. Did Trump have bad friends? No. Bloomberg had the same friends. Anybody at these socialite parties, I'm telling you, hundreds of them I've been to, hundreds of them, right? And they're all there. All of the rich and the famous, they're all there. They all know each other. They're all snapping pictures with each other. Sometimes they're sitting at the same table. That doesn't make you guilty. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just trying to clarify because I've been to these parties and I see what goes on. In or about 1996, the minor. Okay, so this is more about victims. As many as victim 1 and 2. Oh, there is a victim 3. What else? Grand jury further charges, allegations. The allegations. From at least 1994 to 97, the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Ghislaine Maxwell knowingly did transport. So it's trafficking. There's heavy allegations here of trafficking. And count 5 is perjury. Grand jury further charges. The allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 8. And perjury. Testifying truthfully in the deposition. So she lied. I don't know what you're talking about, she said. Did Jeffrey Epstein, here's the question and answer. This is good. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages, if you know? And her answer, I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh. So that's a lie. List all the people under the age of 18 that you know interacted with at any of Jeffrey's properties. Answer. I'm not aware of anybody that I interacted with, other than obviously the plaintiff, who was 17 at this point. So she's saying she did engage with a 17-year-old. So that's perjury. So they're gonna try to slam her on perjury as well. Some more question and answer. This is fun. Were you aware of the presence of sex toys or devices used in sexual activity in Mr. Epstein's Palm Beach house? Answer: no, not that I recall. Question: do you know whether Mr. Epstein possessed sex toys or devices used in sexual activity? No. Other than yourself and the blonde and brunette that you have identified as having been involved in three-way sexual activity, with whom did Epstein have sexual activities? I wasn't aware that he was having sexual activities with anyone when I was with him other than myself. So this is all contradicting the witnesses who say that she jumped in. She was engaging in sexual activity. I want to be sure. So there's a lot of other lies, and it's signed by Andrew. What's this guy's name? Andrew Strauss. Andrew Strauss, acting United States Attorney. So there you are, man. That's what an indictment looks like. It's all fucking signed and sealed. There you go. Wow, it's more than I wanted to say about this shit, but there you go, man. Epstein is totally fucked, right? He's on the front. Epstein, well, he's already fucked. He's dead. But there you have it. I mean, it's on the front page of the Post. It's all over the news. Jeffrey Epstein's gal pal, Ghislaine Maxwell, went down. So I know a lot of people have mixed opinions of this. What do you think of it? I mean, I don't fucking know. What do I know? I'm just a guy who reads the news. I think that I think it's pretty heavy. I think they're going to get her, whether she likes it or not, whether anybody likes it or not. That they want her. Someone's head's got to roll for this shit. You can't just have everybody walk. It looks bad. It makes, you got all the liberals in New York. The New York liberals are all, Cuomo and de Blasio. So her head's going to roll. And I know it's federal, but still, it's local. It's a local thing. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope that was clear. I'm a little tired right now. I'm fucking under the bridge. You know what I do when I do that shit? You know what I do when come on, man. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. Where's my music, man? Hey, man, my music is dead. My music is over, man. Oh, there it is, the volume. Peace, everybody.